Okay, you ready? Let's roll minutes.
All right, Judge, first is top of page 1. You'll get a prosecutor from PC.
Ms. Agbasieli, come up, ma'am.
Sure.
Up to the bar.
Okay.
Good morning, ma'am.
Hi.
Just a little bit down so I can see your eyes.
Sure.
That's okay. How are you?
Good.
Ma'am, you've now picked up another case. You're charged with terroristic threat. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you.
Judge, if I can just confirm the name.
Agbasieli.
On April 1st, 2025, a law enforcement officer was dispatched to a residence in Harris County, Texas regarding a disturbance. Law enforcement officer made contact with the second complaining witness who stated that he was inside the apartment when he heard the first complaining witness outside getting yelled at by the defendant. The second complaining witness went outside to see what was going on, and the defendant yelled at him to stop putting things in the pothole in the parking lot. The second complaining witness told the defendant he was fixing the hole. And then threatened both the complaining witnesses, pointing at them with their fingers, making a pistol shape with their fingers, saying, "I'm going to shoot you."
Wait, you said there were two complaining witnesses.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
That's what I have here. It says, "I'm going to shoot you," towards both complaining witnesses.
And we have Ms. Agbasieli making the alleged threats.
Correct, Your Honor.
Your Honor, there's only charges one.
There's only, yeah,
Right.
yes, Your Honor.
Okay, who is the complaining witness?
Theo Strong.
Is it a known person? Because we have priors with Ms. Agbasieli and there are assaultive and, pretty dangerous priors. Any of the same complaining witnesses?
Does not appear so, Your Honor. Looking through, no, Your Honor. It seems like it's just, from what we can see, it's.
Was it a street worker? Was it someone working for the city or
It's someone that lives there, Your Honor.
just out there fixing the potholes?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, Ms. Agbasieli, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with your case. I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to have any contact with the complaining witness in this case and not to be in possession of weapons. Do you understand, ma'am?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Do you have the ability to hire a lawyer, ma'am?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, we can give you time. So what I'll have you do now is I'll have you sign a receipt of victory while you take a seat, while we draft the bond conditions, I'll have you sign it, and after that, you'll be free to go.
Yes, Your Honor.
Please, ma'am, don't pick up any new cases. Just don't have contact with these people. I don't want to have to put you in jail,
Your Honor, it was the same thing the last time, the
Just,
last case.
just please be careful,
Yeah.
Really.
People make false allegations all the time.
And I get it. There's always two sides to the story. That's why you have a lawyer. That's why we'll give you time. But the evidence will point to whose side is correct.
Yeah, and I do have them.
So please.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Right this way.
Judge, there's an echo.
All right, Judge, next is page 30.
Is that better?
Isles.
Much better.
Is that better, Ramona?
Yes, much better.
Yeah, okay. It's the same thing. I have to mute.
All right, that
That is just the no contact, the
No
no.
contact with the complaining witness, don't go where he lives, and no weapons, please.
I would think of it, John Buckle.
I missed who's this?
page 13, Kyle.
All right, good morning, Mr. Kyles. Sir, you're charged with deadly conduct. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir.
On April 2nd, 2025, in Harris County, Texas, a law enforcement officer was dispatched to an apartment complex and spoke to a complaining witness who said that she was laying in her bed and was woken by her son, the defendant, screaming. And then she heard 2 gunshots go off in the apartment. The complaining witness then got out of bed and took the gun from the defendant, hid it, and called 911. Upon arrival, the law enforcement officer recovered the weapon, along with 2 fired shell casings and 2 fired slugs matching the caliber of the pistol fire. Upon contact with the defendant, the law enforcement officer noticed the odor of alcoholic beverage and that the defendant was wet while fully clothed. The defendant stated he had
Defendant was what?
wet while fully clothed.
wet while fully clothed, okay?
Yes, Your Honor. The defendant stated he had been drinking alcohol and smoking marijuana and that he fired the firearm in the apartment. The defendant stated he was wet because he dumped a bucket of water on himself. The defendant stated that he was paranoid at the time.
Mr. Collins, I'm sending you for a drug test. I want to know what, if anything, was in your system. You're to come right back. I will appoint you a lawyer today, but you're not to use alcohol or illegal drugs. If I find that you're using, it's not going to go well for you. You're also not to be in possession of weapons. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
So do you guys have a rip done on this case? Do we
Yes, Your
know
Honor.
whether she wants him back at home or no?
I made contact with the claimant, Your Honor. However, she did not wish to talk with me about the incident after.
She want to talk to you?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Don't be in possession of weapons, Mr. Kiles. You know, I don't want to have to put you in jail and make your bond high. I don't know if you have anyone in this life that is prepared to pony up $5,000 to $10,000. So when you're out there in the free world, if you don't have anyone that's gonna, pony up that money for a bond, you'll be stuck like Chuck in there. So be careful. All I want is my city safe. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so what we'll do is I'll appoint you a lawyer today. Or do you have the ability to hire a lawyer, or would you like a court-appointed lawyer?
You can appoint me a lawyer, and I may consider hiring one if the understanding is not
I
understood.
just want to know whether you want a court-appointed lawyer or not.
Yes,
I
sir.
can
Yes,
appoint
sir.
you a lawyer
Yes, sir.
today. I'm sending you for a drug test. I want to know what, if anything's in your system, come back, and then I'll have a lawyer waiting for you.
Okay.
Okay, please.
The financial affidavit or no?
No, I have one.
No. All right, go ahead and sign. All right, Judge, next is page 20. See, Paul?
You speak English, sir?
Yes, a little bit.
Do you want a translator?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay. Toma asiento, por favor.
Next, Judge, is page 21. Warren, come on up.
The things that we do around this and the religious and custom field, it's in trust services. I want to support and then chat with them, local perspective, when you're done, you come back. Yes.
Yeah, see, I'd like to know if he has any open cases right now, please.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Torres, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. Probable cause has been found in your case. Your case is 332 days old. I'm now going to put a monitor on your ankle so I know where you are at all times. You're not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs. If I find that you're using, I'm going to keep you. Do you understand? You've already taken off from me multiple times. The next time you take off from me, your bond is going to hit the clouds. Do you understand? Don't say anything. I want you to understand that it's been multiple times. Do you understand?
What do you mean by multiple times?
You have not come to this court multiple times when you were required to be here.
Right?
I'm not going to
Yes,
sit here and
I
argue with
understand.
you about it. It's just, that's the fact. So does he have anything open?
No, Your Honor, it does not.
Okay, I'm going to appoint you a lawyer today and we're going to figure out what happens with your case. Take a seat for me in the jury box, please.
This way.
I don't know if I'm going to reset this case. You can have him sign, but I don't know if I'm going to reset this thing. So,
All right, Judge, next is page 23. Shaw.
Good morning, Mr. Upshaw. Sir, you're charged with interference with the duties of a public servant. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
On April 5th, 2025, a law enforcement officer conducted a traffic stop due to a heavily tinted motor vehicle in Harris County, Texas, and also for the defendant's failure to signal within 100 feet before making its turn. The officer told the defendant to lower his windows for safety. The defendant slightly lowered the rear window, the officer was still unable to see inside the vehicle. The officer asked the defendant again to lower the window. The defendant said he did not have to. The officer observed the defendant acting nervously by breathing heavily and staring at the floorboard of the motor vehicle. The officer told the defendant to step out of the vehicle for safety. The defendant refused. The officer opened the driver's door and told the defendant to step out of the vehicle. The defendant declined again. The officer grabbed the defendant's wrist and attempted to pull the defendant out of the vehicle. The defendant resisted by clenching his fist and pulling his arm away towards his body. And the officer told the defendant to step out again, to which the defendant stated he did not have to. The officer attempted to pull the defendant out of the motor vehicle. The defendant continued to resist by pulling his arm towards the body. The officer was able to pull the defendant outside of the car. The defendant again resisted by clenching both fists and refused to place his hands behind his back by tensing his arms and pulling away. The officer and his partner forced handcuffs onto the defendant in order to perform the arrest.
Sir Upshaw, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with your case. Can you run his license, please? See if he has a valid one. The only bond condition I'm placing on you now, sir, is that you're not allowed to drive unless you have a valid license, a Texas driver's license, and liability insurance in your name. I'm just asking you to follow the law. If you do not have one or the other, then you're not allowed to drive. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
His license is eligible.
Okay, so I'm gonna have you sign conditions to that, and then do you have the ability to hire a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we're gonna give you time to hire a lawyer, so I'll have you go to Victoria, sign a reset. We'll have you take a seat in the juror box. I'm gonna get you bond conditions. We'll have you sign it, and that's how you're free to go. All right? Please.
Judge Fellows, CHA?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Judge, next is page 24, Weaver, come on up.
Is this for Blossom?
Oh, so sorry, I totally forgot about Plaza. No, the one for Plaza is on page 20. Sorry, Plaza.
I guess we'll do this now. All right, Mr. Weaver, you're charged with theft. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
On November 15th, 2024, in Harris County, Texas, an officer was dispatched to an Academy store. The officer made contact with the fighting witness, a store manager that observed the defendant remove a pair of shoes from a box, placed shoes on his feet, and proceeded past all points of sale without paying for the shoes. The shoes were valued at $129.99. The defendant was observed arriving and exiting the property in Ford Expedition, and be associated with an individual who was identified as the defendant. The officer was able to positively identify the defendant as the defendant with his driver's license photo compared to the surveillance of the theft that occurred on November 15th.
What was the value again?
The value was $129.99.
All right, sir, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with your case. I'm ordering you now as a condition of your bond not to go back to any academy. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
If I find that you do, I will revoke your bond, put you in jail. No more PR bonds for you. How did Shreya already get this? This is Weaver, right?
I believe he was in another county.
Oh, that's why okay. So what we'll do now is I'm gonna have you sign a reset and then I'm gonna have you take a seat in the jury box while I get your bond conditions. I'm gonna try to find your lawyer too, so we can get you all on one page. And then after all that, we'll get you out of here, okay? Do not leave until we excuse you though, please. Can you file no going to any Walmart, please? Or I'm sorry, Academy.
Yes, Your Honor.
Judge, next is page 24, William, come on up.
Is this the last one?
Yes, Judge. You know this one? All right, I have one of those. All right, and you to the jury box.
Good morning, Mr. Williams. Sir, you're charged with theft. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir.
The judge, on July 15, 2024, in Harris County, Texas, a defendant was observed on surveillance video entering a pawn shop accompanied by a female, a toddler, and a baby in a car seat carrier. The defendant was observed putting down the baby, picking up a projector, and concealing it behind an item on the next aisle. The defendant then returned to the baby, picked up the baby, and then picked up the hidden projector and concealed it in the car seat. The female completed a transaction at the counter, and the defendant left with the item in the car seat without paying, passing all points of sale. The defendant was identified by his Tennessee driver's license photo by the complaining witness. The value of the item stolen was $2,000 or $2,099.99.
Do we know if they got it back?
I do not. Does not say in the DIMS. So we need just a moment, Your Honor, to.
We can worry about it later.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Williams, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to go back to this pawn shop. You've also missed 3 different times. If you miss, excuses go in one ear, go out the other. Actions are what matter, Mr. Williams. You've missed court on 3 different occasions. If you miss again, I'm going to make your bond so high, it's going to hit the clouds. Do you understand? Do you have the ability to hire a lawyer? I'll have you fill out an application. I'll take a look to see whether you qualify. Okay, you get, every time you bond out, they give you paperwork telling you where you need to go, the date and time and the location. So I'm not gonna argue with you, man. It's just, we've had 3 different occasions. Your case is 220 days old. So I'll have you fill out an application. I'm gonna have you sign a receipt. I'm gonna have you take a seat, but I need to do further bond conditions on him. So you're not allowed to leave until we do further bond conditions, please. Okay. Hey, well, you're already here.
Well, I know, but once in a while, I like to lean into tradition.
Top of the morning to you.
Top of the morning to you, Dad. I've got 2. I'm gonna let Mr. Paris go first on the easier.
Yeah.
Good morning.
How are you?
Last name is Guevara. First name, Evelyn. She was set last week. We rolled her to this week because the PRAS was scheduled yesterday.
No contact?
She went,
Oh, okay, great.
she went to the PRAS. They have the report.
Wonderful.
She's present in court today. She has to get her driver's license, reinstatement fee paid. And then, that'll be the next one.
Have you paid the DA fee and the?
They haven't sent us the contract yet until she gets her driver's license sorted.
I've never seen that. They usually send it and then we can, because that could take months to happen. The case was already 225 days, so.
They won't send us a contract without one of 2 conditional precedents. She either has to have a valid license or sign a non-driving affidavit. And then for whatever reason, every time we do a non-driving affidavit, the DA's office then screws with us for 3 more settings about, please send us a non-driving affidavit. And then I have to get in a fight over the fact that
So we have a particular one here that they use. We can get it done today, file it. We can send it to them now. That way they can get you the contract so we can start moving this thing.
I'm fine with doing that. And then we can just amend it when she gets her.
Absolutely. Okay, done. Do you have one, Shatori, in your mind? So Shatori's gonna give you a copy of that. We'll execute that now. We'll take you like 2 weeks. Hopefully she can have everything done by then. And then they do the
Yes, Jeff.
supervision order.
Excellent. Oh, can you grab Mr. Broussard? Oh, yeah, grab him now, because Jeff's allowed to talk to him. I have Mr. Broussard, who's the fellow who we spoke about yesterday. He's here, he's in the hallway with his brother, I think. I was trying to remember if it's brother or dad, I think it's brother. So, per our conversation yesterday, your game was putting it back on, and I apologize, I don't have him on my docket, so I can look up the cause number.
So he's already started.
And then, of course, it doesn't pull up, because I think I missed Broussard.
So where do we go from here?
So they were debating the district attorney's office. They
back to them at all?
Yeah, so it's the same answer basically that, this is what we're talking about, like mental
They
health.
have a TRAS,
Yes.
right?
And I think, yes, we were gonna have a TRAS, or was it?
Under copy that.
Copy that, that was it, because the TRAS, were any kind of thing that we do in the TRAS.
What are your comp out? So can we get a date today?
So what'll happen is, once I get him on bond, then I can file a comp eval and ask for a date. Because they won't give me a date if he's got a warrant, so,
Okay.
so we get him on bond, yeah. Yes, Judge. It is 2503529. I give you Mr. Broussard.
Show up. That's all we're asking you to do. When you show up to court, good things happen, Mr. Broussard, okay? We need to do something with you now. I'm gonna reinstate your bond. We need to send you to do an evaluation. It's the only thing I'm asking you to do. If you do this, good things are gonna happen, all right? So I'm reinstating it now.
Yes, Judge.
File the paperwork. Is it?
I'm gonna do it right now. Yes, normally I can get, so I don't know when the date will be, but they'll tell me a date today.
Wonderful. Let's do it. So before he leaves, he knows the actual date.
Excellent.
Awesome. Okay.
And Judge, is it possible for him to stay in the hallway with his brother? Okay.
Don't leave.
Don't leave the floor.
Don't leave.
Be in the hall, okay?
Okay.
What was the case number?
2503529.
What is your phone?
Ms. Reedy.
Good morning, Judge. Can you hear me?
Deb, do you mind hitting the button on the sound bar? I think they always turn it off for some reason. I don't know why. Just one time there's a button. Okay, say something.
Something.
There we go. All right.
Good morning, Judge. I'm here on Katrina Keys. You had her on docket for Friday for a bond violation, but she needed to come in and talk to you anyway, so she came today.
Do you have a cause number,
Yes.
please? So it's not on docket today, so I need a cause number.
254-8155.
I'm at 254.
8155.
Ms. Keys, come up.
This one needs a bond.
Oh, I see, that's right. Okay.
And this is for you to write any off docket stuff. It's today.
I know, this was the other day I did this.
This is today?
No, it's not today. It was the other day. I don't remember. We'll have to look.
Okay.
I'm sending you for a drug and alcohol test right now, ma'am. But unacceptable, you're on bonds for DWI and you now have, you're allegedly consuming alcohol.
No.
Yeah,
I spoke with the Scram people and she said that was not it. It's not an alcohol violation. She doesn't know if
alcohol
my,
was detected during both tamper events. But they cannot be confirmed because of the nature of the tamper.
I haven't had a drink since I was arrested, Your Honor. I've done everything this court has asked me to outside of looking for a job and everything. I have had no problems. I've called Scram about my device, because I have neuropathy swelling once it goes down. So she said it was loose. I asked them, the only thing that I did on Saturday and Sunday, which can be confirmed by my GPS monitor, I went to my son's basketball game. I left my house, went to my son's basketball game, from the game back.
Let's
I
do
have
this.
not done anything.
Lisa, do you mind sending her for a test right now, please? I'm gonna send you for a test. You
Okay.
come back. Do you
No problem.
understand?
Mhm.
We'll deal with the violation when you come back.
Okay.
Just please take a seat.
Is he on the different?
So,
Hold on, hold,
hey,
Judge.
Ms. Brady, if you want to lose me your cell phone, I'll reach out to you as soon as she gets back, so you don't have to just sit here and wait.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. I'll put it in the chat.
What's that? Or do you have anyone else?
Put my cell phone in the chat.
Yeah, in the chat.
Okay, perfect. Thank
And
you.
then as soon as she gets back, I'll reach out to you.
All right, thank you.
Okay, sure.
Good morning, Judge. I have Josue Bueno on today's docket. His appearance is required today. He texted me this morning saying he's having some transportation issues. Can we do like do you want to do like a 1 week reset for bond forfeiture or just do another appearance required?
See how old it is.
Yes, Judge. The offers time served.
Okay. So I'll SFBF
1 week.
whatever day you want next week. If
Okay.
he's not here, and let him know.
Okay, yes, Judge. And then I have,
Tired today. I'm still here.
right, no, I understand, Judge.
Uber to get here, man.
And then I also have Jorge Gomez, Judge. And this is one where we're gonna do a probation on that one. And is there any way he can be transferred to a sober court or?
Oh, this is the one in custody.
Yes, Judge. T-Raz recommended thinking for a change, but he has a problem with alcohol, so seeing if there's any sort of sober court option. Oh, sorry. It's Jorge Gomez.
This is the one we were talking about late yesterday, remember? Oh,
Yeah, I missed you. I think you had left just when I got here, Judge, because I was stuck in felony
so,
court.
he wants to do sober court, but he's in custody.
They did the T-Raz for him. It looks like his cases were out of county. So they recommended a community residential program, but they are staffing the case with over court. I just don't have a response yet.
Okay.
So it's community residential is what
So
they're
it's
saying.
inpatient, Judge? So it'd be like about 6 month inpatient?
I don't know.
Community residential is one goal. You and him would have to kind of find together and then kind of go based off.
Oh, okay.
Like it depends on how well he does.
Oh, I see.
It's not
Okay.
as low as 3 months. If he responds really well.
He needs to find the place?
A community-based one is.
But what about,
How'd that-
what about,
He doesn't live here. Doesn't live in Harris County. We're supervising his case,
that's right.
but it's a out of town case.
So even if he doesn't live here, can we still do the program here? And then when he's done, he goes and does aftercare there? Or perhaps aftercare here and we allow it through Zoom?
What do you need for it? It's not a county case.
He lives at a county.
Oh, okay, well.
Yes.
But I don't think that should bar him from going into something now, just because would be here stuck residential regardless.
Council, with that,
That doesn't make
So
sense.
he takes into consideration his felony probation that's out of Vegas, County. Yeah.
Okay.
Goes on felony probation.
Out of Bear County.
You know what court in Bear County? What court? What's the number? I'm curious.
What'd you say, Judge?
I'm curious what court in Bear
Oh,
County.
I see. Well, let me talk to
Can you
him.
pull up his NCIC?
Yes, Your Honor.
This is on Bueno. I'm curious to see what judge he has in Bear County.
You might know the judge or, I see.
Because last time she gave me his praise, she gave me this.
I'm not seeing a conviction with the probation here, Your Honor.
Really?
Started it back in 2017.
2017. Holy moly.
The
Must be.
aggravated robbery.
I'm sorry, that's
And he's still on that probation? Okay.
I don't think that we can do this. I don't think we can. If he's on probation in another county for an ag rob,
Let me talk to
we
him.
can't put him into a probation. I mean, not, I don't know. I mean, we could, but I mean, is there a warrant for his, I've got to imagine there's a warrant for his arrest out of Bear County now because of this and because he's been on the lam for. Was the probation transferred here, Shatoria?
It was transferred here, but I think they're gonna transfer it back to the newspaper.
Right.
I just have to lose the information.
Okay.
Your Honor. I apologize. I'm not seeing an aggravated robbery on what I have out of Bear County. There was a forgery that was dismissed in Bear County, but that's the only Bear County charge that I have. Unless,
I see this at the bottom.
That's interstate.
And here's the thing, we can't do this today anyways. You now know that he's on a probation for an aggravated robbery. Who pleads to this today that could seriously hose him over there, or he's looking at 20 years in prison?
Well, yeah, let me talk to him, Judge, because.
3G,
Because he may have an update as far as how that probation's going, or let me talk to him about that.
Regardless, though,
Yes, Judge.
he needs to be advised and know that if he pleads to this today, it could
Impact his probation there. Let me talk to him, Judge. Thank you.
Lori.
Good morning, Judge.
Hi, good morning.
Motion on Christopher Melendez. It's old.
Is he in jail?
He is charged with murder and he's charged with DWI and UCW. The issue is that the UCW is the murder weapon. And we can't plead, and we're ready to set for trial. They put an offer on there.
So he evades, allegedly gets into an accident, someone dies?
No, he allegedly kills his mom, then drives off. Gets seen, not maintaining a single line and takes off, evades, and then has a DWI and the gun in the car.
Can you tell me the
Just
name?
charged
Christopher
him,
Melendez.
they just charged him with the murder like 5-6 days ago, huh?
No, they charged him with the murder. I think the DWI came in and then the next day the murder came back.
So this one, yes, the murder came in right after the DWI. I'm sorry, I was back here. I mean, a district court chief put an offer on the misdemeanors.
We're not taking,
Say?
we're not taking it. He's ready. If you want us to set it for trial.
I mean, yeah,
He's set for,
that case, that could take 2 years.
he's set for pretrial conference in June. It's like his fourth. So. Mm-mm.
Right.
And then,
What have they offered? Have they offered him 4 years?
yeah, and the, from what I understand, like the UCW is the alleged murder weapon. So we're kind of wrong.
So let's do this. Do you mind bringing him out, please? Melendez? So what day is the pretrial conference set for?
June. Check that
Oh my
right
God,
out.
it's so far away.
June 16th.
Are you ready to go if we set it? Do you have?
I really need to get with Toinette because I think that there's facts in the case that could affect the murder case.
I'm not gonna hold it over.
No, I'm not asking you to, Judge. I get it. I totally get
Already
it.
370.
I think there's an easy option here that I just need to speak with Toinette, like really get to sit down with Toinette and talk about.
Discovery complete? Let's set it. And I'll just advise them, hey, right, the RDWI and the UCW is the same day as the evading. So it's,
And then the murder came in right now.
right, well, it's the same, alleged same day, right?
Yes.
Good morning, Mr. Melendez. Good morning. Your cases are old and it's time to make a decision on what to do. They've offered you plea bargains in these cases here, but it's your decision whether you guys want to take it or not. If not, the cases are old that we need to go ahead and set them for trial. So I'm going to let you talk with Lori to see what you guys want to do. If not, we'll set your case for trial today in, I guess, 30 days, 45 days, set it.
I would ask for a 45
He
days.
wants to talk.
Okay.
We talked about it.
I ask for a 45 day.
Done. Okay. All right, man.
Okay.
Yeah, just you pick it, Lori.
All right. You said you want 45? Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Hey.
Judge, I'm approaching on something off docket, real quick. 254-3286 and 3287.
Brandon?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
I was here, early last week
because I approached to talk to you about the driving situation with him. You said that if we could confirm employment, that you would consider allowing him to drive for employment purposes. I have confirmed employment. He is here today. He is received.
Did you get the house number?
Yeah, sure.
What happened with the case and why I know it's a reckless driving.
There's also a not carrying a weapon, Your Honor.
What happened with the case though?
I'm sorry?
What happened with the case, the reckless driving?
The reckless driving. Law enforcement officer observed the defendant's motor vehicle traveling at excess speeds of 120 miles an hour, aggressively maneuvering and making unsafe lane changes through medium-heavy traffic without using a turn signal. Law enforcement officer paced speeds at up to 110 miles an hour before catching up to the defendant. And the law enforcement officer observed the defendant throw marijuana out of the driver's side window before coming to a stop in an attempt to get rid of the driver's before contact.
Does he do for a living?
Well, he just got a job offer, Judge, for a job at Whataburger. He'd be working the night shift at Whataburger.
I'm not letting him out in the middle of the night to drive. No.
He doesn't drive to work, Judge. And he would actually be at work throughout the night. He would actually be at work, so he wouldn't be driving. He doesn't drive for Whataburger. He would just drive to Whataburger, work all night, get off in the morning, come home.
Okay, show me proof that he's got the job.
Got it right here, Judge, and I can send it to your pretrial services. I had emailed Victoria about this yesterday, and I told her that I would send it.
Does he have a monitor now?
This was a curfew judge from 9 to 6 a.m.
Okay, so we'll do a change. So he actually has the job?
He has the job, Judge, so they're just waiting for him.
So we need to have the GPS monitor know that he's at all times at that Whataburger, right? And that's the only way he can only drive for employment purposes. I don't want him out during the day.
Understood, Your Honor.
Like doing other things. The only reason is to work to
Yes, Judge.
and from. And
Yes, and
come
so
up, Mr. Brandon.
So still observe the 96 curfew when not working.
wherever, okay, just answer your side, so you're good right there.
The only authority I'm giving you to drive is to and from work, and that's it. I will have a GPS monitor on your ankle, so anytime you deviate, it's going to ding, and I will know, and I will revoke your bond if you do it. Do you understand? I don't want you out driving and lollygagging at all times. No, the only reason is for work, and that's it. If I find you deviating from this, you're going to stay with me. Do you understand?
Do you understand? And Your Honor, the shift is from 10 PM to 7 AM, so that entire time he would be at
So we'll
Whataburger.
give him, however, maybe half an hour from the time before he goes from work and then half an hour afterwards to go back. Okay, all right.
Well, Judge,
Okay, thanks, Val. Mike Moss,
Your Honor, it's a privilege and a pleasure.
how are you?
Better than I deserve. Huh?
That's not true.
Yeah, not as good as I want, but better than I deserve. Your Honor, I had a case on your docket. It's Jaime Hernandez.
Okay.
And this is a case where it's an FSGI. The chief said that he would do a time served on this, but I have to, in all candor,
Yes.
say
Institution?
there was
There was, and that's the thing.
3,000.
We were trying to nail it down.
I think we had already talked about this. If he can't pay it now, he's supposed to pay it today, right? Because it's a.
Well, if he had it,
200.
yeah, but he didn't have it. He's
Do it through probation, I guess, right?
well, we could, or maybe if he doesn't have the money, what would you accept in terms of
Nothing. No,
no
not
deal?
fair. No. How's it fair to let him start 3,000?
Well, the deal is this, I'm trying to remember how old the car is and how much damage my guy may have done to it. I think if we look it up, if it was a new car, that may be one thing. If it's a 1982.
That's something that should have been done quite a while ago.
Well,
It's
and we,
Case.
I understand. And
just, Mike, what's fair is fair. And if someone creates damage to a car,
yeah, I agree. If he created it.
saying that he didn't.
Well, my limited experience in practicing law has been that sometimes people, when they they incur restitution bills, they may
I know
incur.
that they inflate. Are you saying that they're inflating it?
I believe that it's true, but I could be wrong.
I don't know. What kind of car is it? If it's a
It's a
used one, we're gonna have an issue.
2001 Chevy Silverado.
It's worth $3,500.
Well, let's see. Hold on. I'll pull up the blue book. But then it would also, how much damage was done to it?
So what we
Same?
have is the rest. I'm pulling it up now, Judge. Let's see.
So it's a 2001.
2001 Chevy Silverado.
I wonder what the blue book is.
3,500. Don't blame stress, it's four-wheel drive.
$3,300 was the restitution amount.
I'm
What
sorry.
happened though?
There was a front quarter panel damage. Let me do this, Judge. Let me go in right back to the desk over here, try to parse out what is actually the front quarter damage to the vehicle. Obviously, there's internal, like, I don't know what was caused by that.
Right.
I think the officers had said the front quarter panel was what was damaged with a broken tail light. Let me go parse it
Yeah,
out.
that's not $3,300.
So here's what we could do to pay it. Let me go parse out, me and Mr. Monks can come to an agreement. We can do a deferred, but the only condition is that he pays restitution. Does that work for everybody?
I think I'll talk to my guy, but I think that's fair.
Okay.
Okay.
So you guys determine the value and then whatever it is, it is.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, Mike. Something other than that.
I'm joking.
That's psyche valve for Broussard, sir.
Okay, great.
And then when I was resetting it, they were asking about bond condition, which I didn't occur to me that we hadn't addressed.
I think we already have, Felicia,
Yes,
just
Judge?
don't pick up any new cases.
Broussard.
Broussard. I have to give you the cause number. It's not on docket. You tell me when you're ready.
I'll get out of the way.
All right, 254,
No, 250
250,
3529.
3529.
Yeah, I'm putting a monitor on it, you know?
I understand, Judge. I told him that would be a possibility.
So GPS,
So 2503529.
yes, ma'am.
Broussard.
It's telling me that there's no.
2503 529. Yeah, Broussard.
Hey, Judge, did you address the BVR on this one? When there is?
Oh, no, I didn't know he had a BVR.
It was filed this morning.
Ramirez, come up.
For the conditions, Judge?
For my guy.
GPS. Para allá.
Judge, you want me to align here?
Yeah, let me, no, he's on bond.
Oh, yes.
He's here now. So just show up to court. No new cases. Oh, and
I mean,
the
if you want,
CompuVal,
huh?
the CompuVal. Show up for the CompuVal.
That's fine, Judge.
Who's it with the mental virgin center?
No, just conference evaluation.
Okay, does he need to submit that to the court?
It gets done automatically.
Okay.
Do you want a ankle monitor? Because there's no exclusion zones. It's just.
Yeah, so we know where he is.
Okay.
That's why, because I don't want him to take off again.
Well, I mean, he was in a hospital. I don't know if they cut those off if you go into the hospital or not. I mean, I
So
don't.
is he taking medication now?
No.
What happened?
The problem is he is one of those ones that has slipped through the cracks of healthcare. So now that he's on bond, I can get a social worker through the MAC, have him appointed and have them try to help. But basically, he's going to a hospital, he gets admitted, he gets a script, he gets out, script runs out, and he doesn't have any long-term treatment. The American healthcare system is failing, Judge. That's a great depiction of it. But hopefully with a social worker from the MAC, they can,
Hopefully you can,
hook him up to somebody.
all right.
But, so ankle monitor, come to court, no new crimes, do CompuVal. Excellent. Thank you, Judge.
Thanks, Nick. Hey,
Good morning, Your Honor. I'm here for Mr. Torres. And can we turn the live stream? He's out on bond, yes. And if we could turn the live stream off, please. That would be okay. This is the old DWI.
Okay.
I'm being appointed to the case today. So I talked to the state and I kind of looked at the procedural history of the case. So he had hired an attorney. He came to court every single time the attorney was hired and was working for him. There was a PTI offer on the table while the attorney was hired. And the attorney basically told Mr. Torres, okay, well, it's going to be this additional money if you want to enter into the PTI program for me to represent you throughout that whole process. And Mr. Torres couldn't afford it. And so the attorney withdrew and Mr. Torres didn't come to court only one time he didn't
I
come to
have
court.
multiple times that he has not failed, that he's
Where,
failed job.
okay, where on the district? I looked at the resets and sometimes he was not required to appear and then there was one capious. So I might be misreading, but,
At a county bond.
because I think he was arrested
I see the
Out
KPS on
monthly.
10-8 and then 4-3.
10-8 and then what?
3? No.
He was arrested out of county,
It's a lawyer.
so.
Okay, so here's what we'll do is I'll give you some time.
Yes, well, I talked to the state and they're like, we're not opposed to PTI, but you have to reapply, right?
I'm
And,
not gonna sit here and wait the 3 months when the case is 332 days old.
Okay.
No, I'll give you 30 days at the max
okay,
for him to have everything done, turned in and ready to go. But I'm not gonna sit here and reward someone for.
The judge, only thing I said was to make sure it was clarifying. He was originally auto approved, I pulled that, and now he's gonna require a mitigation package
Right.
because of these.
Okay, so what we'll do is I'm gonna give him 2 weeks to have the mitigation packet turned in.
okay,
Okay, if he doesn't have it turned in, it's clear to rock. And
okay,
then I'm gonna put a GPS monitor on him now,
okay.
so we know where he is.
Yeah, and one more thing, Your Honor, just to make the court aware, there is discovery, well, the state doesn't have discovery missing or anything like that, but I want to obviously submit a supplemental breath
Oh,
intoxilizer discovery order. Like there's very minimal discovery in this case. And so I have no idea what kind of investigation was done on this case prior to my representation. And so I do have concerns that
I looked
there's.
today,
Okay,
I had expedited it special.
right. So I'm just saying like I don't know in 30 days what the discovery situation will be, but I intend to file a breath discovery order.
Get it done today.
So,
Come up, Mr. Torrance. Regardless, if he's applying for the PTI program, 2 weeks, he must have absolutely everything turned in.
okay, yeah, it does require the TRAS as well.
Happen after the fact.
Okay.
If he's even,
Just the application and the
you must
paperwork.
have
Okay.
absolutely everything done within 2 weeks, or I'm not giving you any more resets. For that. Do you understand? Today, you will get a scram on one ankle, you're going to get a GPS monitor, and if you take off again, it's really not gonna go well for you. Do you understand? You're not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, unprescribed controlled medication. Can you run his license, please?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Torres, Judge?
No, Joe.
Yeah.
Did you say
Torres is
Christopher?
my Last name. Torres.
I thought she said Christopher.
That's fine.
Did you? No? Okay, sorry.
Sorry.
It is eligible, Your Honor.
Okay. You're not allowed to drive unless you have liability insurance as well. That is also a condition of your bond. Do you understand? Okay, so we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, do you mind bringing up Mr. Cerna? James Pond. Do you need, you good?
For a prosecutor for environmental crimes.
Oh, I can't help you there.
All right.
You are Juan Jose Serna. Mr. Serna, you now stand charged yet again with burglary of a motor vehicle. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. Please.
There's very seven. One moment, my system is. Adjourned. On March 20th, 2025, law enforcement officer was dispatched to a burglary of a motor vehicle that occurred in Old Navy parking lot in Harris County, Texas. A law enforcement officer spoke to two witnesses who viewed the incident. The first witness stated that the suspect's motor vehicle pulled up the complaining witness's motor vehicle, and the suspect wearing a camouflage hoodie got out and pulled on a door handle of the complaining witness's motor vehicle, attempting to open it. That set off the alarm of the motor vehicle, and the first witness advised that the suspect got back into a car, drove off to another area of the parking lot, parked and waited for the alarm to stop alerting. The first witness stated that once the alarm stopped making noise, the suspect jumped back over to the complaining witness motor vehicle, parked, and the suspect in the passenger seat got out and was able to make entry into the complaining witness's motor vehicle. The complaining witness advised that she was walking up to a motor vehicle when she saw a Hispanic male wearing a camouflage jacket sitting in the driver's seat of her motor vehicle. The complaining witness stated that the suspect saw her walking up, jumped out of her motor vehicle, got into the passenger side of a waiting vehicle with an unreadable plate, and the complaining witness then heard the male tell the driver, "Go, go, go." Another law enforcement officer advised he was patrolling when the gold Tahoe that the suspect was observed in passed him at a high rate of speed. Traffic stop was initiated, and the law enforcement officer was able to send pictures from the witness showing the suspect motor vehicle leaving the location to another law enforcement officer who was able to verify the suspect motor vehicle. After further investigation and search of the suspect, a camo jacket was found in the rear seat, and a flat-pointed screwdriver consistent with the tool that would be used to break a lock on the complaining witness's door.
It was both that were attempting to B&B.
Yes, Your Honor. Yeah. The defendant is the registered owner of the vehicle, but the motor vehicle was displaying a counterfeit tag that did not come back registered to.
So Mr. Cerna is the one that owns the Tahoe?
No, I apologize, Your Honor. Mr.
Yeah,
Cerna is the second. Looks like the second individual that was in the passenger, that was in the driver's seat whenever the complaining witness came out of the vehicle, is not the owner of the vehicle.
So if I may, the complainant or the witness stated that she saw a Hispanic male with a camouflage hoodie. When they were pulled over, there's two people in the vehicle. The camouflage hoodie was not on my client. So I'm saying that there is no probable
They
cause.
have both of them in the car, being car.
The both of them in the car?
That's
Okay,
what, according to you, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Both individuals.
Were in the car attempting to.
I have the
Because I thought it read that one person wearing a camouflage hoodie was in the car. when
That was the
somebody-
second one. So the first person goes in, gets out, and then that's when the other one goes in. And then at that point, the complaining witness comes up and tells them to take off. Mr. Cerna, let's go through your stuff. Theft of wire or cable. Theft, trespass, evading arrest, burglary of a motor vehicle, theft, assault of a family member, attempted burglary of a motor vehicle, theft, third, burglary of a motor vehicle, unauthorized use of a motor vehicle, evading arrest in a motor vehicle, burglary of a motor vehicle, assault, possession of marijuana, robbery, felony theft, assault, a prior, now a felony, another felony assault, unauthorized use of a motor vehicle, tampering with a government record, felony theft, unauthorized use of a motor vehicle, and now open, you have unauthorized use of a motor vehicle, felony theft, burglary of a motor vehicle, and possession of a criminal. What on earth do we need to do to keep our county safe? It's a rhetorical question, but I don't know what on earth we need to do to ensure that our county and our cars are safe. You live in Houston, dude. You don't live in Montana or Wyoming. People like their guns and they like their cars. And when you muck with the wrong person, they're going to shoot your ass dead. It happens time after time.
Judge, he's due in felony court tomorrow for his felonies. His bond is currently set at 10,000 for this misdemeanor. Can we reset till Friday to see what happens in felony? I'm asking the court to not revoke his bond. His bond is set at 10,000. I'm asking the court to keep it in place.
So there's nothing for me to revoke because he has not made bond on
In
the
felony, correct.
You're now being held at no bond on at least 2 of the felony cases that I see. If, I don't know if you're gonna get out, but if you do, I'm ordering you to have home confinement. I don't want you out at all because you scare me, Mr. Sonner. You really do. You're not gonna be in possession of weapons. On your other ankle, I'm going to put a scram monitor so I know that you're not consuming alcohol. I don't want you using any dope. And let me be frank, if I find that you break any of these conditions on your bond, I'm gonna make your bond so high you'll have teeth popping out. Do you understand? Do we have, who got the co-defendants? Do we have the co-defendants? No contact with the co-defendant, please, Fleischer.
Still loading, Your Honor, I apologize. We have the co-defendant, Your Honor.
Say it again?
We have the co-defendant. I'll sit on the court seat.
Let me ask you this. You ever had a job before? Like a full-time job?
Yeah.
That's probably a good idea. When you have too much time on your hands, you become self-destructive. So with this, it's just a matter of time, dude. It's either dead or 50 years, man. Really? Life's too short to live in a 6x9 box for the next 50 years. All right. We'll set you for Monday.
Okay, thank you, Judge. Mr. Senna. Should I have another person on docket?
Okay, sorry. Tell
We
me.
have Dwayne Berard. It's the chief. I'm sorry.
Bond or Jen?
Jail.
Okay.
Okay.
What's the word?
I was speaking with the chief. I'm not sure if you wanted to come up here on this individual. This is for Dwayne Berard, if we can do probable cause.
Sure, of course. It's an assault, right?
Yes, Your Honor. On February 1st, 2025, an officer was notified of an inmate who was assaulted by 2 other unidentified inmates. The officer was informed by the detention officer that the complaint was stated he had been assaulted by the defendants. The officer was unable to review surveillance video due to the camera being down. The officer interviewed the detention officer who identified the defendants by the description given to him by the complaining witness. The officer interviewed the complaining witness and observed redness and bruises to the right side of his face and a laceration on his right forearm. The complaining witness stated that 2 light-skinned black males had entered into a cell yelling.
Joe Torres?
I apologize, I'm reading straight from the number. You've got to get your gay ass out of here. And started stomping and punching him. The complainant was described one male as bald with a beard and the other had a fade with waves and tattoos. Waivers stated both males had seen him previously sitting with a transgender inmate and made comments. Through the description, the detention officer was able to identify the defendants.
Judge, the complainant says that the people that assaulted him were two light-skinned males, one bald with a beard and one with a fade and a beard. My client at the time had an afro. He does not even match the description given by the complainant. So off of the wrong, improper identification of my client, there would be no probable cause to make the arrest. He doesn't even fit the description.
Days?
Your Honor.
I mean, I don't know. You know, that was 2 months ago. Hair grows. I
When
don't,
I saw him, I got the case, I think February 11th. When I saw him on that date, he had an afro. In his booking photo, he has an afro. Now, after the fact, he has now cut his hair. February 1st is the date of the incident. He had an afro.
So Your Honor, what we have here is, and just come from the office report. By the description given by inmate Gardner, Cameron was able to identify inmate Williams, inmate Gerard, Dwayne. Inmate Gardner was in fear for his life and press charges against said inmates.
I don't know. Do you want to reach out to the officer? Did they like take some kind of?
I mean, absolutely.
There
Or
was
did they bring
pictures
him?
on the portal. The pictures taken, there is a male with a beard and a fade with tattoos as described by the complainant. However, the picture that's on the DA portal, that's not my client.
So, Your Honor, here's what I've just asked. We reached out to Colin because he does have some serious pending charges. I think we're going to be able to get our case resolved out based on our evaluation of this case. I just need a second here to get Felony to reach back out to me to come to a resolution on this.
I mean, if they have the wrong person, they have the wrong person.
It's the wrong person,
I
Judge.
would argue that based on the PT we have in the DIMS.
You want to reach out to them now to see? I'll give
We've
you
already
some-
reached out, we've reached out.
Fine.
And we were here in our last setting for that to happen. It still hasn't.
Ariel, that's not what happened. What happened is Ariel came to me and said, hey, I think y'all have issues with the case. Here's why. I said, okay, we'll take a look. We have taken a look. We've given Felony our concerns for the case. That is what was supposed to happen.
But is it true that the photo that they gave was a different person?
Yes, that is correct, Judge.
Where does it, where does it?
Let's do this. I got a line building up. Show them real
I have
quick.
showed them, Judge. And I gave,
Judge, based.
I broke down the case, gave them point details of what's wrong.
And I'm not, what I'm saying is, Judge, based on what Ariel gave me last time, we evaluated the case.
But we all have the discovery on the portal. I did my diligence. That's where I'm going to leave it,
Okay,
Judge.
let's do this. Let me stand down for a second. Can you pull the picture so I can see it real quick as well? And then let me take a look. And if it's not the right person, I'm going to find no PC now.
Okay,
So just, but they've been waiting. Just give me
okay, Judge.
10 minutes. And then let me.
I'll hop back in line and I'll have the picture ready. Thank you.
All right, Joe.
I have a plea on Daryl Myers.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will say, Judge, before we do the plea, I was informed by probation, he did a TRAS in anticipation of his sentencing for next week in felony courts. And apparently they are recommending inpatient treatment. So he's likely gonna get that on the felony probation.
Over there.
That was their TRAS.
Yeah, we're not going to ding.
Okay. I just wanna,
No, he'll be expected to once he's released.
of course.
Mr. Myers, come up. Good morning, sir. Good morning. You're charged, You're charged with driving while intoxicated, second offense. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. You're making a very serious decision today, Mr. Myers. You need to understand that you ever get into a car forever and a day, you get pulled over and there's anything funky in your car, whether it's alcohol, dope, you're now going to be looking at a felony charge. Do you understand? A third DWI, you're looking at 2 to 10 in the penitentiary. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Have you been to the pen before?
Yes, sir.
You could be looking at potentially 15 to life days. You know, if it's a serious enough charge, you know, if you've been to the pen twice, you're habitual. 25 to life, man. Really? When something that's so easy as you taking an Uber, $40, anywhere you want to go. Even if you've had a sip of alcohol, a toke off a joint, you get into a car, you're begging for trouble. Do you understand?
Sure.
The agreement is 1 year in Harris County Jail to be probated for 18 months. You will do a repeat offender education class, 4 victim impact panels. You must also do a TRAS, which is an evaluation to see what other conditions you may need. He's already done a TRAS upstairs.
He'll still have to do it. with
Can
us.
we go on that as well? And
Yes.
we'll piggyback so he doesn't have to do it again? Okay, we're gonna use your TRAS upstairs down here so you don't have to do it all over again. And what we'll do is we will do the same thing because they're requiring you to do SATF upstairs, okay? Which is probably what they're gonna order you to do. We will run everything at the same time so it runs together. Just if you have a problem, address it, man.
Yes, sir.
The last thing you want, did you see what happened yesterday? Did you see what happened upstairs yesterday?
Yes, sir.
Yesterday, there was a guy that's in his 30s that had 2 DWI convictions. He's out in a car. He rams into someone else in the back, kills an officer.
Okay.
Yesterday, he got life. So that's what I'm saying. It's an accident. You don't mean to do it, but if you kill someone, you're looking at a life sentence, man. Take an Uber. It's not hard. It's so easy. One button on your damn phone will get you a car wherever you want to go. You must do 3 days in Harris County Jail as a condition of the probation. Do you know when he wants to do it?
April 28th.
Okay. All right. No breath test refusal. If you're driving in a car, an officer asks you to submit a breath test, you must do it while you're on this probation. No drugs, no alcohol, and a guardian and a lock. Is this how you understand the agreement, Mr. Myers?
Yes, sir.
You're giving up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. You give up the right to appeal. So once you accept this agreement, you're stuck with us until you complete it or you get revoked. If you do something to violate this probation, I will issue a warrant for your arrest. I'm going to put you in jail. I'm going to bring you back out and we're going to have a hearing to determine if you violated and you're looking at an entire year. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I have to suspend your license. I'm going to suspend it for a year. Good luck to you, sir.
The super fines and everything are waived. I am appointed. He's very much in his job.
I normally on a second won't, but he's on probation. He's going to be doing SATF. I will. Don't get into a car, man. Just please don't get into a car. It's not hard. You understand? I'm suspending your license as of today. You're not allowed to drive. I will have you sign an affidavit today promising me you're not going to drive. Mr. Myers, I don't care what you got to do. Just don't drive. All right, good luck. Thanks. Waiver.
Myers, I need you. Wait along.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or, actually, I don't.
Jeff, this one was good night. I just want to make sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, sorry. You ready?
Travius Bell, Your Honor.
Okay.
Mr. Bell, he's was on the docket for today, but he does have a bond violation.
You mind bringing him up?
The Travius Bell.
You mind bringing him up?
Oh, yes, Mr. Bell. I believe the state is going to join me, on this one, Chief.
Who wants to talk first?
If I may, Your Honor, I think the facts were that, you may recall he was being evicted from the place where he was living with his family member. He was getting a drink. His family member has dreads like him, kicked the door. He was walking back to the residence. They accused him of doing what his cousin did. He was taken into custody because he had the MAJ out of Fort Bend County. I believe he gave a fake name or something like that. The state is verifying these facts. He was in the process of finding some place to live when he was here for his bond conditions. He's got his ankle monitor. He has a new place where he lives, where he's been resting his head. But I think the bond violation is popping up because he's not checking in to where the original location was that he gave probation. I believe he has phone records from when he was speaking with probation, trying to inform them of the updated address. And I just got the BVR last night at like 9 o'clock or something like that, the first time.
I haven't even seen.
Yeah,
I don't even.
nor has the state. So perhaps we're
Let me take a look. So the bond violation is that you entered at 10:50 as opposed to the 10 o'clock, right?
Yes, 10:50 and 21 seconds on 3/28. And that goes back to 3/28 as well, Your Honor. And today is April 9th.
Don't pick up any more bond violations. It's not gonna go well for you. You understand? If you don't have anyone if you don't have anyone that's ready to pony up $10,000 on you, if you get both your cases revoked, you'll be stuck like Chuck in there until this thing's over with. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Make good decisions. One more. That's it. There's no excuse. Do you understand? Okay. All right. We'll continue supervision.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Your Honor.
You have something on today's docket?
No, Your Honor,
Is that what this is? PSR?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
No, Your Honor, but
So 255-7900.
So 255.
7,900.
79.
Cheryl.
7,900, Cheryl. It's the last name. Yeah.
Okay, you ready?
Yes.
Am I bringing him up?
Oh, so this is, I guess,
He's not here.
He's not here. He's from out of state. There's not a date. And so I was wanting to answer the open warrant and try to see if we can set a bond.
We usually do that with them here so we can get bond conditions done. Where do they live?
He's in Maryland, Baltimore area.
Can he get here so we can do it? I don't mind giving him a PR bond,
Yeah.
but we need him here.
So he said he could be here by next week. I think spring break is next week for the family.
Tell him
The
to be careful, he
16th.
gets on a plane.
Well, that's the problem. So I didn't want him to get on a plane or drive and there's.
Well, driving, I mean, I don't think that
Is
there's.
there a way we couldn't clear it because he would need to fingerprint and I would need him here to sign the bond and to be sent for fingerprinting? Because even if a bond is set, the warrant can't be cleared until they go to JHC and receive that information. So,
I don't know, like, if I were to set a bond, I don't know, would he be able to make it in Maryland?
oh, like a surety bond?
Yeah.
Right.
Or I remember pay the court.
I know for surety bonds, they do have to fingerprint as well.
Yes.
So I'm
but-
not sure how that works.
Are you okay with setting a bond on this?
My only, I didn't realize it, my only concern is obviously the bond conditions, right? Like, I don't care about the amount, it's because it's family bonds case, so we're gonna contact.
Well, so what, if we set a bond and he makes it, he's got 7 days to be here. If he doesn't come, we issue another warrant and I'll never do it again.
We just came from court one. There's apparently two cases.
Oh.
One was going to be dismissed. We
Wait a
thought it was.
second. No.
Now we're here.
But
It's coming to us, regardless, it would have been, it's the lower case number. We have the lower case number, so it comes to us.
What's weird?
That said to be the other day that that the magistrate found no PC on, they didn't sign the warrant.
That's weird. Did you hear that?
And we had a case too.
So let's get it here, Vic. Let's get it here so we can do everything all at once. You want to do that?
Yeah, the court one has to be the one to transfer it and they have to sign it.
Will you go?
I just came from, but the prosecutor's office said they're gonna end up dismissing the case. It hasn't happened yet. But there was no reason for the judge to issue a bond or anything. She said, I still had to come here. So I just came.
Did they say when they're going to dismiss it or no?
No, but I mean, at this point, it can't.
The problem is, if I set you a bond now and they don't dismiss it, you'll never be able to post bond because there's always gonna be that warrant out.
I mean, I can run up, go and check with she put on the record.
Oh, great. Is it your case?
It's not, it needs to transfer over because it was a cold one. That's
He's saying that they're gonna dismiss it.
The assault family violence.
I think the magistrate found no PC on it. And he refused, the magistrate refused to sign the warrant too.
It's the other one, Judge, that they found, they didn't sign, it was the 255787.
They found no PC or they found
They
PC?
they didn't sign the warrant. The one
On the
in court
terroristic threat.
one, I don't know if he signed out. But. the
Okay,
one-
so I guess the magistrate found no PC on the terroristic threat and found
You don't have a case at all, maybe. I don't know. I mean, I was gonna ask for a PC hearing anyway, but at this point, because there's an
Let
open
me do
warrant.
this plea real quick and
Yeah,
then.
I'll
be on your
hang
case.
out. Thank you.
It was, the magistrate found no PC on the terroristic threat, our case.
Oh, okay.
So let me just do this plea and we'll do PC.
Yeah.
Coming up. How's jam?
Wasn't fun.
You don't want help?
I would like to receive help.
We can help you find a place to stay. We can get you food, cell phones, all kinds of stuff. All you have to do is ask and we can provide it to you. The problem is that if you're homeless and you continue to rack up these convictions, you're just making it worse for yourself. Every time you plead guilty, you end up with a conviction. And when you rack up certain types of convictions, it only hurts you so much worse, you know? They've offered you time served. If you want to do this today, we can do it today. We also have other services available as well if you want that as well. You're charged with 2 counts of criminal trespass. The agreement that they have worked out, or that you guys have worked out, is they're going to dismiss one. You will end up pleading on the second one. If you do this, you're going to end up with a conviction on your record. From now on, you're facing a minimum of 30 days in jail. You understand? Is this what you want to do? You're giving up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. You give up the right to appeal. So once you accept this, there's no turning back. Who do you have in your life? Do you have anyone?
Right now,
Mom, dad,
I
anyone?
have my mom, but I haven't contacted her.
Why not?
I haven't had the
Where does she live?
town.
So you would prefer to live on the street than contact mom?
No, I'd rather get in contact with her, but it's just been a minute.
She's what?
It's been a long time. I would want to get in contact with her though.
Where are you living now, on the street? So why not call mom? Isn't it better to live at home with mom than to live on the street?
That's what I want to do now. Without realizing.
But Cassidy, 30 days from today, if you have a change of heart if you would rather do something else like a probation, come back and we can talk. Because I have jurisdiction within 30 days of after you do this. If you have a change of heart, if you want probation, if you want help, services, we can do that for you. You know, it just scares me that you're doing this. You're gonna end up right back on the street, end up back in 2 weeks with another charge, you know? How do you plead to this offense, sir? Guilty or not guilty?
Still give her resources.
I'm gonna have you talk to Shatori. We have resources that we can give you. Whatever you need, all you gotta do is ask and we'll try to help you with whatever you need, all right? Like I said, if you have a change of heart, you wanna do something within 30 days, let me know. We can do something, try to do something different, all right? How do you plead to the offense, guilty or not guilty? Mr. Cassidy.
That's weird. How do you plead guilty or not guilty?
What is that? How do I teach?
Guilty or not guilty?
Are you guilty of criminal trespass? All right. I'm gonna find you guilty. I'll send it to the 90 days. I'll give you credit for the 36. I'll have you talk to Shatori now so we can try to help you out. All right? All right. Good luck, Mr. Cassidy. Your other case will be dismissed. Okay, counsel, are you ready? Are you ready?
Maybe so.
I'm waiting on. Oh, okay.
All right, let me, this was, no, I mean, this was one quick.
Just take your time. There's no rush.
7900. It is discovered in the. Yeah.
I think it's all on the phone.
Ah, good.
Yeah.
Okay. So do you have the cost numbers on Cheryl?
Yes, I'm pulling it up now.
I mean, theoretically speaking, if a magistrate found no PC on our case here, there's nothing I can do anyways. Right? Because we've lost jurisdiction. So there's nothing that I can do with it. They either have to dismiss it or have to go re-indict it at some point.
Right, yeah.
So what do you want to do with the terroristic threat?
I mean, just for candid purposes, this is the first time that I'm looking at.
That you're even seeing, okay, so.
And everything, so I'm just not in a position where I'm gonna be able to say, yes, we're gonna, dismiss it or not.
What we normally do in that instance is we give the state a little bit of time to do whatever they want to do to determine whether they want to dismiss it or go indict it. We usually put it for the last. Vic,
Yes, Judge.
the no PC cases that they haven't dismissed, do we put it on the last day of?
The last Monday of the month, so April 28th.
That's what we normally put it on for you guys to make whatever decision that you want to do. The terrorist threat's out of my hand. Nothing I can do with it. So if you want me to do something on the assault, we got to get it down here. And then I can set you a bond.
They just called.
Okay.
The assault's been dismissed.
So I just want to make sure there's not an open warrant. That's the only.
So I guess does the warrant outside?
But the problem, he never signed the 2B, right? So how can there be an open warrant if he didn't sign the 2B?
It's like it's in warrant status, but they didn't.
It'll show warrant status, but a judge, me, the magistrate never signed the actual warrant for it to issue. It shows warrant status, but.
Okay, so I think the open warrant was
Problem
court
is
warrant, realistically.
No, because they just dismissed it.
Right, so now that will go away.
That's gonna
Potentially.
pay, but
Okay.
our case here in court 5, it's been no PC by the magistrate. So the problem is that wherever he goes, people are gonna see open warrant and they're not gonna know what transpired here. So they're going to assume it's in warrant status. So they're gonna,
That's my concern for him.
I understand. So all's in your court. My name's Bennett and I ain't in it.
Yeah, I mean, No, I just can't do anything.
I mean,
So-
I can hang
No,
out
no, no.
today.
Take your time, take a look, you know. What I would do, just, I guess, get his information, contact him in a couple days, see what you guys want to do. Take your time, talk to whoever you need to talk to, and then make a decision.
So I'll talk to my chief today about it, or see what's up.
And then you guys, I mean, there's really, for me,
Yeah,
there's
at
nothing
this-
to do, because
Well, thank you, Judge.
our house is that, and then the other one's been dismissed. I would go get a copy of that dismissal.
No, this is all helpful either way. I'm glad I came down.
I would, at the minimum, go get yourself a copy of the dismissal from court one, so you have that for your record, so you can give it to your client, and then let them know what's.
Judge, they're saying that since, even though that they didn't sign the warrant, it's needs to be heard by the judge and then.
She's found, I love it anymore, she found the PCs.
They do things a little bit different, so like, so just because they.
Did they find it? Yeah. Hold on, guys, hold on. Okay, so, so this is what happened. The cops go to get the warrant signed on the terroristic threat, and the magistrate refused to sign it. So what she's saying that we need to hear PC right now.
Okay, let's have a hearing then. That's probably the easiest.
Shh. Okay, so, are you ready? Okay, go for it.
Officers were dispatched to a residence in Harris County, Texas. When it stated that the defendant called her the day prior and stated, quote, "I know where you live, I'm going to come kill you, I'm going to kill your dog, I have a trap on your car." When witness told officers that the defendant had given her the vehicle and that she was concerned about the existence of a tracking device. Defendant is not a resident of the state, but was in town for an unrelated reason. The defendant then sent the complaining witness a photo of her apartment door after making the threat. Heard on ring video, the defendant hitting the door in an aggressive manner. CW said she was in fear of her life.
So he says, go through it again.
All right, so complainant witness stated that the defendant called her the day prior and stated, "I know you live, I'm going to come kill you, I'm going to kill your dog, I have a track on your car." Complainant witness told officers that the defendant had given the vehicle, and that she was concerned about that just tracking device. Defendant was in town for an unrelated reason, but the defendant then sent complainant a photo of her apartment door after making the threat, and the officer observed on ring video the defendant hitting the door in an aggressive manner, and the complainant stated she was.
So why would they find no PC? I mean, it's.
There's a few things left in there. I think first, the complainant stated she did not wish to pursue any criminal charges, perhaps.
Yeah, but that doesn't
I mean,
factor into whether there's probable.
The other issue, I think, is this allegedly happened on the day before, and at some point later the next day, the complaining witness, I don't think 911 was called, the complaining witness did their own investigation somehow. That's what I can tell from the way the complaint is written. So I don't think 911 was ever called. I don't think the threats are imminent as would be required under the Terroristic Threats
He
Act.
says, I'm going to come kill you. I mean, there's imminency with that. I'm going to go do that, right?
Certainly that is a consideration. I don't think that's imminent because there's not, I'm coming now, I'm doing this. Like, I think there has to be a finite time.
I'm going implies I'm coming.
Yeah, and I think for the purpose of PC, right now we have a complainant stating, even if, she didn't want to press charges or anything, a complainant stating that she was in fear of imminent, she was in imminent fear. We have a statement, we have a video of a picture of her front door being sent, and then a video of the defendant's,
I don't know that we have that, but I understand if those threats were allegedly made, I think it was the day before.
Day before what?
The day before, based on the complaint, I'm just strictly going off the complaint. It was the day before, and then the next day in the evening, this complaint was filed. So there's at least a period of time that no longer has the imminency is my point.
No, they may have filed it later, but the act itself isn't terroristic threat when it happens. Of course, they file, it takes time to file something, they're gonna file it later, right? But the fact remains is that on this day, at this time, he says, hey, I'm going to fucking kill you, right? And then proceeds to provide more evidence, adding credence to the fact that he's going to do it. I don't know about the assault, but I mean, I think that there is sufficient to go forward just for the terroristic threat. If you want, I can set you a bond now. That way they can make it. But let him know that once I set a bond, if he makes it, he needs to be here within 7 days.
Sir.
And then after that, you guys go do about your business, right? Now, I think the fact that she may not want to go forward or whatnot, that will play into the case itself. But remember, probable cause is a very low burden.
No, I understand completely, Jan. I just think in terms of probable cause, and I understand that what the complainant said, it's coming from a third party. I know hearsay is allowed and all of that later on, but for purposes of today, at least if we can get the bond, that, because I came with the impression that this was already an open case anyway.
And I thought so too, but you know, a lot of times what happens is the magistrates don't get all the information because it comes in piecemeal. And so they may not have had all the information at the time when the 2B was issued, and they kind of supplement it after the fact. So what do you think about a bond? Amount wise?
Well, can we just pay, I was thinking a couple $100 to pay to the court so that he doesn't have to pay a bondsman.
You're gonna pay?
I'm not gonna pay. A family
I was
member.
gonna say, be very careful.
I'm not paying any.
Be very careful.
Family will pay on his
Okay.
behalf, but I would want him to pay the court so that the money can be returned rather than a bonding company.
They'll have to go to the sheriff's office. They don't come here to ask.
No, either way,
They
but
go.
I wanted to be able, the opportunity to pay a couple $100 to the court so that that money could be returned.
You're saying how much?
Like $300 to $500 is what I was thinking.
Sure, 500.
400 it is. We'll split the puppy for you.
There you go. That's-
Okay, so I'm gonna find PC on the terroristic threat.
Put the to be more in your shit.
Okay, bond will be set at $400. Did they in fact dismiss the other one though?
Yes, Martha said
Okay.
she has to.
Can we print out a copy of it?
Pam?
Yeah, I gotta reset that.
If he can get here, I'll give him a PR bond. So
I think he said next week would be,
just, he runs a risk, right?
Right.
Because there'll be an open warrant for his arrest, so he runs a risk. The later he takes to do it, then, but, okay, we're done.
thank you, Jeff.
Thanks. Hi.
Hi, Jeff. Here for Mr. Kyles. He was sent to pretrial services for a drug test.
Okay,
THC and PCBs.
I had the, come up, sir.
And could we turn the live stream off, please, for purposes of the approach, Your Honor? Thank you.
Yeah. Come around this way.
I told him.
Yes, Judge, I'm back. Is Ms. Keys back? She said that she was.
Hey, Judge, did you want,
No, just do whatever, because they're gonna call him randomly to go in next week.
Judge and Ms. Keys is back off docket.
Come up, Ms. Keys. Do you have the cost number, please? Cost number for Ms. Keys?
Oh, yes, Judge. 254-8155.
Tell me about it.
We can just.
For the DVR?
No,
Oh,
she
sorry, her drug test was, presumptively negative, Judge.
ever test positive again, I'm going to keep you.
Judge, it was a scram temper.
If you ever tamper with the device again, I'm going to keep you. I'm doing everything in my power not to revoke your bond. Do you understand? I don't care what it is. If there's a problem with your device, you need to go have it switched out, go get it looked at, but I will not entertain any more excuses from you. No tolerance. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Did she address my, curfew? My lawyer was supposed to ask you about my curfew because I got a job and I started today. And the job is from 5 p.m. to 6 a.m. at Igloo. And I have the letter saying that I've been accepted for the job.
Does she have something open elsewhere as well?
She had a need to provide open at Austin County, Your Honor.
Still open?
It's not still open. I'm not sure if she plugged it or what happened, but looks like she's on probation now. For that one at Austin County.
You're on probation for DWI. You've not picked up another DWI. I don't want you driving in the middle of the night.
I'm not driving. I'm not driving.
That was just on March 26th, I believe, Your Honor. Is when she applied for when that case was resolved. The year probation.
I resolved that case. And I
You still have an open DWI and you picked up another DWI.
I didn't. I haven't done anything since before.
Don't talk. All I know is that you have a probation for DWI, you have an open DWI. The last thing I want is another death on my streets. And I'm going to do everything in my, I tell Pete, everybody tells me what I want to hear here.
I'm not.
And then when they get out there,
Before I took the job, I spoke with my lawyer. I
keys.
have someone that works there and they shuttle and I can get a ride. But right now, like I'm having a problem with getting my lights were turned off. The phone was turned off. I'm worried about monitoring. So I've been working very hard to find a job. This is the only job that I found and I need to work to survive, to pay my bills. I have to work. And with the background that I have, it's been hard for me to find a job regular 8 to 5. This is the only thing that was available. And then I made sure that there was a ride or a shuttle. They work in shifts. So 5, 6 people in my neighborhood work there. So I've secured a ride to and from work.
proof of employment that you actually have a job working
I
there.
have it. My lawyer have it and I have the email right
Have you
here.
met with your lawyer? I want to see actual proof that you're working there. And then we'll put a GPS monitor on you.
I have a monitor. I have GPS monitor already.
Exact address so that we know that you're going to and from work. If you deviate in the slightest, and I don't care what it is, that'll be your 3rd bond violation, and I'm going to lock you up. I will deem you a public danger and make your bond sky high. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay. Chief Marie, I'll have you get with your lawyer and then they can get with pretrial.
And I start today. It starts today at 5 p.m., which is why she had to come today.
Okay, I'll have you get with Ms. Freedy. She can get with pretrial. You guys can work out the details.
All right, thanks.
Judge, would you like me to email that proof of employment to you or to pretrial?
No, to Felicia. And I don't know if you have her email address. I'll see if I can get it for you.
Okay, please.
Give me a second. I'll chat it to you. Hold on.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
Yes, ma'am. Hello. Do you speak English, Delo?
Yes. He speaks English.
All right. Good morning. You're charged with illegal dumping. You're facing up to 180 days in jail and or a $2,000 fine. You have worked out an agreement. They're offering you. Just keep it down. You've worked out an agreement. They're offering you 15 days in jail with credit for the 20 days that you've done. You need to understand, Mr. Belon, that this charge will now go on your record. It will be there for the rest of your life. From now on, you're facing a minimum of 30 days in jail for any new cases that you pick up. You understand? You're giving up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf. Confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, deny naturalization under federal law. You give up the right to appeal once you accept this agreement. There's no turning back. This is what you want to do. How do you plead to the offense? Guilty or not guilty? I'm going to find you guilty. I'll send you to the 15 days. I'll give you credit for the 20 that you've done. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you, Judge.
Did you get your environmental, or is that what this was?
Yes.
Okay, thanks. Okay, are you ready?
Yes, Your Honor. Anthony Lopez.
Is this a true first? Do you mind checking on Mr. Lopez?
Yes, Judge. Yes, Your Honor. They denied the PTI.
Oh, that's what it was. Okay. Mr. Lopez, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine because of the high blow. You guys have worked out an agreement where they're offering you 3 days in jail with credit for the 1 day that you've done. True first?
Yes, Your Honor.
You know, the thing is that we all make mistakes. You're allowed to make mistakes once in a while, but when you continue to make mistakes where you endanger other people's lives, it just gets so much worse. From now on, you need to understand you're facing a minimum of 90 days in jail. You pick up another case. Not only that, there's a $6,000 surcharge. You pick up another DWI. Do you understand? So if you want to get lit, find another way. Because of this DWI, you ever get pulled over in the future and you smell a little bit like alcohol or dope, you understand? You're giving up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization under federal law. You give up the right to appeal. Once you plead guilty, you can never take it off. This is what you want to do. How do you plead to the offense? Guilty or not guilty?
I plead guilty, sir.
Are you guilty? Okay. And this is not Target. You can't return it because you don't like it.
I understand, sir.
All right. I'm going to waive your $4,500 surcharge, but you come back with another DWI. Get ready. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
$40, take an Uber, wherever you want to go. All right, good luck to you, sir. Thank you.
We also have another plea for Mr. Louis Lee, Mr. Honor.
Okay. Oh, I have to suspend your license. I'm going to suspend it for 90 days. Okay? You just don't drive until you get a license. Okay. On this one, is this a true first or no?
Yes, sir.
Lemus,
It was denied PTI also.
again.
A high bracket.
Okay. Mr. Lemus, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. You have worked out an agreement where they're offering you 180 days in jail to be probated for 15 months. As part of this agreement, you will do a DWI education class, 2 victim impact panels, a TRAS to see what other conditions you may need. If you need them, you must fulfill them. No drugs, no alcohol, guardian in a lot, 30 hours of community service. You have any children? And a $100 one-time donation to MAD. Is this how you understand the agreement? True first, state.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Like I told the other gentleman, you're allowed to make mistakes. But when you continue to make mistakes, whether you endanger other people's lives, it gets a lot worse. I will waive your otherwise supervisory fee, which you would owe $3,000, but you pick up another DWI. It's a $6,000 fine, and then a minimum of 30 days in jail from now on. Do you understand? Even the smell of alcohol, because you got this prior DWI now, they're gonna put, you get pulled over, you're hosed. You understand? How do you plead to the DWI? Guilty or not guilty? I'm gonna find you guilty. I will sentence you to this agreement. You're giving up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on behalf, confront, cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. I'm not going to suspend your license because you're doing the probation, but Can you run his license? You're on probation for this DWI. You're not to drink alcohol. You're not to use drugs. If you have any issues, come back and talk to me. We can work through anything, but if you take off, you pick up a new case, you consume, it's the worst possible thing you can do. I will issue a warrant and we're gonna have a hearing. You violate, you're facing 180 days. Do you understand?
Eligible, Your Honor.
Okay, all right, as long as you have liability insurance, you can continue to drive. How do you plead to the offense? Guilty or not guilty? Guilty. I'm gonna find you guilty. I'll follow the agreement. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
Thanks. You can run.
Yes, Judge.
What's up, man?
I'm here for Ricardo. He just said he just wanted to
Ricardo.
approach for an admonishment, so.
Kim is here.
Oh, Dave's there. Okay. Hey, Dave, sorry, man. I've been in different courts.
Okay, I mean, if it's just for an admonishment, then I can just sit here. Like, if it was something contested, it'd be different, but it's just literally, it was the one we approached on Monday for the remand, and it's just, I guess telling him about.
Do you want me to bring him out?
Yeah, let's bring him out. Can we bring out Mr. Joshua Sweat? Because I did want to talk about the reason why they're asking for an extension. And I talked to the client and I need to bring this up. So.
Not happy?
Well, it's part of it. And I think you're saying that he's medically unfit to be transferred. I think that's the reason that.
Right, so, I mean, in plain speak, he's detoxing, and medical needs to figure out when they're finished with that before they can even, Louisiana can even initiate the transfer. That's the issue, is they can't even tell when they're coming because he's not cleared yet for transport, ironically, so, yeah.
So that's something that I want to address with client being here. Yeah, and sorry, I waited till the end on this, Judge, but I've been running around. It's one of those days.
Hey, we're all feeling it. Don't worry about it. You're doing great. I'm tired too. And I still gotta go fix a flat tire, man. I had a flat tire. Come on.
Oh, no. Hey, Judge, you got AAA? You don't have AAA?
No, because through your insurance, you have roadside assistance. Yeah. I'm not dumbass, forgot to call him though. Hey.
How you doing, sir?
How are you, Mr. Sweat?
Pretty good. How about yourself?
Well, let's talk. You know, I think that you, if I remember correctly, you have a parole violation out of
Louisiana, Judge.
No, Michigan, sir.
Yeah,
Or Michigan, sorry, Michigan, I'm sorry, I conflated two cases.
That's right, he was a Michigander, that's what we were saying. That's right. You know, a lot of times in life, you really have to read the fine print. You got to read what you're signing. A lot of people just sign just because they want to be done with it. Yay, I'm getting on probation. Yay, I'm getting on parole. Let me just sign what I'm going to do. You know, one of the things that you sign in the jurisdiction where you signed, where you refuse, or I'm sorry, you waived extradition by signing the document that you agreed to be on. So whether you agreed to get on parole, whether you agreed to be on probation, you refused extradition by signing the document in and of itself. And it says there, I will, you know, waive extradition if I ever become a fugitive from justice. You are now a fugitive from justice, meaning that you are wanted out of the other state.
Yes, sir.
So you can't sit here and say, you know what, I want to try to get a bond so I can just go turn myself in. You have already you have what's called a pre-signed waiver. You have already signed.
Yes, that's why I was trying to get back.
We are going to get you back.
Yes, sir.
The problem is that sometimes, you know, we give them up to 30 days for them to come get you from Michigan.
I was under the impression it was 14.
In the typical instance where I don't give someone a bond, yeah, but for pre-signed waiver cases, it's 30 days.
Judge, and if I may, that's my argument. When we did all this, we always talk about the practice of 14 days. And so when we originally talked, we reset it out 14 days and we were all basing it on the 14 days. Now, the extension that they're seeking is my understanding because he is detoxing. And at that point, my question is, I talked to him when we talked about the 14 days, we understood each other. He understood me. He seemed fine. I talked to him again today. He seems fine.
And he may be fine now, but when he probably first got here And when everybody was notified, it may have been a different story. He may have been like, just
No,
in the
I talked to him.
clouds.
I talked to him when we talked about the waiver, Judge.
Yeah,
This was.
I'd been off my detox medication by the time I signed my waiver. I was no longer on even any detox medication.
And so my argument, Judge, I get it, and my argument is, hey, he's ready to go. We don't need extra time. Why are we holding him here extra days? Yeah, he signed the pre-signed waiver, but we talked about 14. If they're supposed to be here in 14, that's the practice. He's good to
No,
go.
That's not the practice for pre-signed waivers. It's not right. The 14 days, and understand the 14 days, no, hold on.
Yes, sir.
The 14 days
Yes, sir.
is us being nice because statutorily, it's 30 days. Even in the instance where if it were a 14-day thing where I'm gonna give someone a bond or this and that, statutorily, it's 30 days. We do 14 days because we have so many damn people in jail that we try to get them out as quick as possible. So as a courtesy to you, it's for everybody else, not for pre-signed waiver cases. We, as a courtesy, do 14 days. But in reality, we have 30, or they have 30 to come get you. And then Harris County releases you at that time.
May I say one thing?
Sure.
It would have been 8 days ago, last Tuesday. They told me ATW. I went downstairs. They said Michigan is here to get you. I waited 4 hours and in the holding cell, then they said, actually, they're not coming. I had to go all the way back to the booking process again. They took my money from my account, put it in a check. I cannot go to commissary, can't go to commissary. And the waiver that I did sign, I did read the fine print and it said they have 14 days. And if they do not, 10 business days, 14 calendar days. And if not, then they can seek an extension if necessary. My argument, I understand everything you said and I'm not questioning I know the law more than you, but I did read the fine print.
So hold on, let's find out. Mr. Kim,
Yes, Judge.
what's the good word? Tell me
So
about-
they're supposed to be giving an update this afternoon. Hold on, I don't want to misspeak. Yes, I got an email about an hour ago, I want to say, that they should give the final update yesterday, but it's one where obviously they have to medically clear him, liability alone in terms of, I'm not gonna just, trust that he's good to go until a medical professional tells me that he's good to go for transport. Because it's a liability on both, obviously, the sheriff's office side and Michigan side for the transport. We have.
You wanna
had
roll it till
issues.
tomorrow to see what they say?
Well, that's fine, but it's just for an update, just because, once the email comes in saying that he's clear, I would obviously relay that over to Ricardo. So, we can roll over, that's fine, but just rolling it over isn't gonna rush their decision because they already have it on the forefront because we've been emailing about it.
Do you
Because
have
it's-
any clue when they're gonna get here?
Well, so once he's clear, they can book it. So I believe they said once they clear him, they can get him in.
What do you mean, once they clear him? What does that mean? He's not cleared as of right now?
That's what I mean, is like right now, medical has not cleared him from the Harris County side for Michigan to
I
come
haven't
get
been on
him.
detox medication since the fourth
I have
day.
no idea what that means.
The fourth, I was withdrawing because I take Xanax. And when I came in, they gave me a 5-day detox. I haven't been on detox medication.
So let's do this. Let's roll it to tomorrow. Who do I need to check in with to see if he clears from medical?
Well, it's a sheriff's office via Harris Health, but we're already in communication with them. That's what I'm saying. It's like no one's sleeping on this. We've been actively, there's like 4 emails this morning alone. No one is, they're just making sure he's cleared medically. And so there's no magic, it's gonna be in 4 hours. It's when medical clears him. And it's not something that I can force, obviously, because it's determinative of his condition. Not just the fact that he's off medication, it's the equivalent of going into an ER. They have to observe, they have to make sure he's stable and he's safe for transport. I don't know what that means. And obviously the sheriff's office makes that determination based on safety. So safety, both him and the officers coming to pick him up.
I guess let's do this. Set it for Friday. And I'll reach out to the sheriff's office to see what the heck is going on so they can go interview him to get him cleared as soon as possible.
Okay, I will have this
I
reset for.
will email now, figure out, sweat, right?
If I'm being extradited to sweat. My understanding when I looked into it, it's the prison that wants you.
Charles Egler reception.
Whatever it was, I think I mentioned it to you, like, who is
You said
this?
the Lansing tether unit, but,
That thing, that's who's asking for you.
but am I going to the
Mr.
county
Kent,
jail?
Day, I'm gonna CC you on this, okay?
Yes, Judge.
Give me a second. Hey, Ricardo, what's your email address?
Judge, it's R, last name Laredo.
832? Okay, I'm CCing you on this as well.
And Judge, my only argument is look at the man. He looks in better health than I am.
That's why I'm emailing
Yeah.
town.
That's all. Thank you, Judge. Thank you. I appreciate it.
I actually have a court date set for the 16th, which would have been the day after my 14th day.
Okay. Well, Judge is doing, he's going
Yeah.
above and beyond. He's
I
trying to
appreciate
figure
it.
it out for us as well. So
Thank you.
let's allow him an opportunity to do so. So you can hear everybody's trying to figure this out. I mean, everybody sees you.
Yeah.
Judge sees you. I see you.
Yet he has been held in custody since when?
27th.
What is it?
27th of last month.
Is that right?
It sounds about right. I saw him.
I don't want to take your word.
Dave, do you have that by chance?
It shows that he was filed on April 1st. Oh, wait, no, sorry, it's the wrong case.
331.
Oh, sorry, it's 331, yeah.
3:30.
I was held in Pasadena jail till the from the
I'm
27th.
not counting Pasadena.
Okay.
The point we're doing now is you look good. We're trying to make that happen as soon as possible. Can this thing run?
Clearly. But once they clear we'll start over, but I feel like we're how many days.
They lost, how many days we lost. We're trying to figure it out.
So let's at least set you 2 days out to make sure, what my feeling is that medical is going to want to talk to you to make sure everything's fine so that you're fit for transport. Once that happens, they can get the fugitive prosecutor to let Michigan know, hey, come get him. And then hopefully they can do it within the allotted time. I've just set the email now. Let's set off for 2 days for Friday and we'll see. And hopefully that gets done.
Is the allotted time being 14 or?
I don't know yet.
Sure.
We're trying to figure it out.
I don't know. I'm not gonna commit to anything at this point because I don't know why they didn't clear you, when they last interviewed you. So there's a lot of other things that play to determine when the day actually is. But be that as it may, we're gonna try to get you out as quick as possible.
Yes, sir.
No one's sleeping on it and no one's waiting for just,
Yes, sir.
yeah,
Thank
we're
you.
working on it.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay.
Thank you for.
Thanks for
Thank you, Judge. I'll reset to Friday. All right.
Okay.
Bye.
Okay, guys,
Can we approach him?
please.
We're approaching on Sean Williams. He's on today's docket.
This is the gentleman, it's a theft of the projector from, okay.
Victoria told me I needed to approach about bond conditions, but if you're happy with them all,
Well, no, the thing is this case is super duper old, right?
yes. And the judge, this was a 2B. And so that's part of the age. And then,
If he's a true 2B for
Well-
like 180 days, then I don't have a problem. But if he's been on bond and then he takes off for 150, then
so just my brief look at it, what looks like happened is it was a 2B. He got picked up, he paid an out-of-county bond. And his next court date was not clear to him. And
come on.
So, he did bond forfeit. And then he paid another out-of-county bond and he's here
Yeah,
today.
he's forfeited at least 2 different times. It's now 212 days old.
It looks like to me, he's only bond forfeited once.
He's made,
You're concerning me, man. It's a concern.
And again, any amount of bond forfeiting is bad, but
discovery complete on this case.
Hold on, Your Honor. Verify that.
If you ever take off on me again, Mr. Williams, you know what's gonna happen to the bond. And if you don't have anyone in this world that's willing to pony up 10,000, perhaps 5 to 10,000, you will be stuck like Chuck in there until this thing is over. Do you understand me? The only thing in this world I'm asking you to do is keep my county safe and show up. You pick up another case, you are unsafe to my county. It's really not gonna go well for you. Do you understand me?
Do believe this, Your Honor, there's,
I'd like you to do a writ first as well to see whether they got the projector back or not.
yes, Your Honor.
And then,
Judge, if we can just have a regular reset,
your regular reset.
that'll give me time to look at
You
everything.
must be here at the next setting, so we're going to decide what we're gonna do with this case. But I'm gonna tell you now, if they didn't get it back, it will be part of anything. That
Understood.
restitution is, all right, Mr. Williams, don't have any contact with these people, don't have any weapons, don't pick up any new cases. So I guess Felicia, I'll have you do it as just because it'll be faster so we can get them out of here. Just no contact with any witness, no going back to the pawn shop, no new cases, no drugs, no alcohol. Okay, all right, dude. Good luck. See you in 30.
Okay.
Mr. Slider,
All right, Judge, good to see you all.
great to see you, man. Been too long.
So we are finally going to feed Mrs. Usato. We're gonna do a 6-month deferred.
Okay.
Basically, she's almost been on deferred for a year and a half anyway, doing this. But we're
Why,
gonna,
what's, I don't remember what this case, is this the one?
yeah, this was a CompuVal, brought the fake gun to school.
I remember.
Yeah.
How's Coffee about? She's totally fine, man. Come
She
on.
had Monopoly.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Never played Monopoly before. Did you play Monopoly? God, she still didn't play Monopoly. Come on.
here's the issue, Judge.
You wouldn't know, man.
I-
Get your sister.
Because we're doing a 6-month and I think the TRAS said thinking for a change. I think we should change that to effective decision-making and anger management, because there's no way she's doing 18.
And that's, all I really want to see is that young adult case. Are we good with the 6 months on young adult case?
Yeah.
That's really all I care.
And we're just gonna change the thinking for a change to effective decision-making and anger management.
Is which effective decision-making class, though?
The effective decision making is the one that's 8 hours, the thinking for a change is a 16-week one.
Right, that's a big difference, you know, does
She's not going anywhere for 16 weeks, Judge. I mean, when I tell you she's been in my office like 50 times, I mean, everything that we do has to be spoon-fed. I see there will be a compliance
I
problem.
understand. Okay, it's fine. Let's, okay. I'm for it.
As long as the young adult case was on there and it's really.
Are you ready?
We're doing the paperwork now. I just want to clear that up. Give me about 5 minutes and we'll do that. Okay. Thank you.
This is the last thing though, right?
This is it for her.
No, for us too.
Today? Oh, for this course?
No, I'm talking to her.
Oh, okay.
23.
I don't work here.
Ready?
Page 20, Walker, sexual arraignment, it was their first time.
2501. Come on up, Miss Hussein. So you were charged with threatening exhibition or use of a firearm with a school bus. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. You have worked out an agreement that it's a 6-month deferred. Miss Usato, this is the type of probation that if you complete successfully, you do not end up with a conviction on your record. You understand?
Yeah, I understand.
You can't tell people it was dismissed. It doesn't get dismissed. You do a probation. If you complete it, there's no conviction on your record.
Oh,
There's a big difference. Do you understand?
yeah, I understand.
Okay. It is extremely important that you complete this successfully, because if you don't, this is a potential crime of violence that will always be used against you in the future. If you ever try to apply for a job, if you ever try to go do something in this life, you will always have to explain this. If it's a conviction, meaning if it goes on your record, that is a very bad thing.
Yeah, I
You
understand.
need to complete this probation.
Mhm.
You understand?
Yeah, I understand that.
I'm gonna waive all your fees. It's never about the money. It's about you showing up on time, not using alcohol, not using drugs, and doing illegal drugs, and doing the classes you're supposed to do. The recommendation here was for you to do a Thinking for a Change, which is a 16-week class that you go once a week. Mr. Slider has asked for me to give you a different class, which is a effective decision-making class, which is an 8-hour class. I will do it. The other thing she's supposed to do is what else?
It's anger management.
He's still on the anger management.
I finished that one already.
If it's okay, we can get that certificate.
Did she do it?
She did do it.
Yeah, I
She's
finished it.
she's done quite a bit since she's been on bond, Judge.
Okay, I will give you credit for anything that you've done.
Mhm.
The only thing that we're asking you to do, stay out of trouble. Don't be in possession of weapons. And I'll make you a deal. If you do really well, I'll take you off in half the time. So if you get everything done, you're nice to everybody, especially the probation officers, because I'm telling you, these people have a really hard job because they deal with a lot of people who aren't nice. And if you aren't nice to the probation officers, they're not going to treat you well and you're going to be right back over them.
I understand.
You're giving up a lot of rights by entering into this agreement. You give up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to test on your behalf, confront, cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported. Right. I still have to advise you that if you're not, you can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization.
Oh, weird. I was wondering.
He's just advising you, just in case if you weren't, he's just making sure.
You need to
that
understand that you also give up the right to appeal.
Oh.
So what that means is that once you enter into, this is a contract that you and I are entering into. If you complete it successfully, we're all happy. If you violate it though, I will issue a warrant for your arrest. I'm going to put you in jail, bring you back out, and you're facing a whole year if you violate this. You understand?
Yes, I understand.
Don't pick up any new cases. Do your stuff on time. If there's ever any issues, if you ever have any problems, come back, talk to us, and we can work through anything.
Okay, I understand.
Any questions?
No.
How do you plead to the offense? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty. Sorry, Charles. I'm very nervous.
No need to be. You know, as long as you do everything well, there's no need to be nervous. I'm not going to find you guilty. I'm going to wait. I will withhold that for 6 months. Wait for you to do what you need to do.
What I did was a mistake, I know.
Just the idea is that you learn. That's why we have this, so that you learn, so you don't make the mistake again and end up with something worse. Everybody back there in jail, they never learn. They never grew up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Grow up. What are you doing with yourself now? Did you graduate from high school?
Last year, I graduated.
So what's the plan for the rest of your life?
Next year, I might go to college.
Why next year? Why are you waiting?
Because they were helping me to get into college, but
Who's they?
like the teacher from high school,
Okay, so what are you doing with yourself now? Nothing.
helping my parents. I know it's nothing, I know.
No, that's not good. You're doing nothing. And the thing is that all you're doing is you're getting older. And if you're not doing anything now, 1 year is going to pass by, 2 years is going to pass by. That's unacceptable.
I might get a
No.
job.
No, you need to get a job. And I'm now making that a condition of as well. You either have to get a job or be in school full time. I'm not going to let you be a bum and do nothing while you're on probation. If you don't get a job, it's not going to go well for you. You need to be productive, because when you have too much time on your hands, you get self-destructive. Bad things happen. You need something to do in this life. Do you understand?
Understand.
Okay, so I want to know within 3 weeks that she's done something. I'm giving you 3 weeks. If you don't have a bunch of applications in to try to get a job, it's not going to go well. I want you to start looking.
I applied, but they want like everything. They want Social Security.
How else are they going to pay you?
They want it. I don't have such, I do have, but
You do? If you were born here, you do. You just gotta
I
go
want
get a copy
ID,
of
but I
it.
haven't got my ID.
She gotta go get her ID.
I have to go get my ID.
Man, how are you gonna live this life without even an ID?
How-
You say that. No. I'm gonna keep you here. We're gonna work with you to make sure that stuff happens with you. First, I want you to get your ID. You got 2 weeks. After that, we're gonna work on getting your social security card. You got another 2 weeks to get your social security card. After that, we're gonna start working on getting you a job.
Social Security.
You got the card?
My mom has it.
Okay, so I want you to go get an ID. That 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Got it?
Yes, I got it.
Okay. Good
Thank you,
luck.
Judge.
Thank you so much. Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah. So, ixnay on the job you get. Let's make sure she gets her ID first, and then we'll come back and start working on it. Get an appointment for that. Caramba, la bamba. I think we're done.
We're done?
Hey, are we done?
Judge, could you sign the disposal orders and everything?
Yeah, but other than that, are we done?
And the 2 bond violations, Judge?
I did it.
Also, Judge, can I have a break? Yeah, me too.
You know, hit the little button on your seat, you'll be getting a raise. All right, I gotta go. I got an Uber coming. Yeah, I gotta go get my car.